Hey guys, Joe Blue back again with another episode of the Cheaters of Marvel Rivals. I'm going to change the name to that title so that people can identify with what the videos are about, as villains of Marvel Rivals might not implicitly tell you what the video is actually about, so I'm changing the name from here on out. So I want to get into this video pretty fast. I want to try and get through this as fast as possible and not waste too much time, as I just want to get these videos done and dusted. Okay, so we're going to start here with my match history. I did go over this on my stream recently, but I just want to go over it again here in this video just to sort of show you what my gaming was like. This is season 0, like bronze, going all the way up to platinum 2, and you can see my win rate is somewhat consistent. And then we have the start of season 1 right here, starting at silver 3, which is where I got to be from platinum 2, and then I basically ranked all the way up to silver 1 with like 30 points. This was silver 2, where I ranked up the silver 1, so I'd have had like 0 points or 4 points or 5 points, something like that. And I won a game plus 32, and I was around 34, 35 points or something like that. Okay, and then the following day, January 14th, I lost 8 games in a row, completely out of the ordinary, completely. And basically, when I checked the Steam forums, a lot of people were complaining about cheaters on this day on the Steam forums. So it seems like there was an influx of cheaters on this day, and there were many games in which felt like they had cheaters in them, some of them pretty obvious cheaters. And you can see by the scores, they were all pretty much stomps in which we didn't really get a chance to really go even with anybody. We basically just lost sort of decisively within the first round. And yeah, and this game here I basically tilted. This is the game we'll be looking at in the video footage, as this is the blatant cheaters that I want to show, or at least what is very likely to be cheaters based on the evidence. So, and you can see after this day my win rate sort of comes back a little bit, but still there seems to be a little bit of inconsistency with some swings leaning heavily towards losing, except for this win streak here, but it seems to be heavy focused on loss streaks, win streaks, and it hasn't really gone back to how the win rate was, you know, prior to the previous season. Right, so we're going into the first clip. We're going to check this game here, and our people that we're looking at here is Danny1337 and Grand L, potentially a cheater code. Obviously 1337 is for elite or elite, and L coming from, you know, L as in God, Elohim, elite, like the etymology of the words are basically like the same. It comes from the same place. So do they know that, and that this is actually a code to say that they're cheaters? I don't know, but it's a coincidence, if you want to call it that they just happen to be using this L and elite in their terminology, and they both happen to be cheating in this game. Coincidence or not, whatever, I'm just pointing out that relationship exists. And we'll go into the first clip of the StarLord. Okay, we're going to start with the StarLord here. He starts shooting, you know, kind of suspiciously towards the enemy team through the wall. I mean, that looks like the direction of the players, right? I'm not just losing my mind.
There's only one genuine certified StarLord. You're looking at him. Get ready. There's only one genuine certified StarLord. You're looking at him. Get ready.
So he sort of moves up his camera towards where they are. Starts shooting. Like, maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm just reaching there, but it seems possible that that's what he's doing, but I don't know. Yeah, it might be nothing, but let's move on. And you'll see this happen quite frequently. I'll show a few clips of this spread throughout of the video here, but you'll constantly see them shooting, but never on the actual model, always around where their hitbox is. They never really aim on the person that often. When they're moving around and shooting, they're often just hitting the hitboxes of the characters. As you can see here, they immediately sort of snap lock and begin shooting on the hitbox of where this player is. Must be the absolute edge of the hitbox. It seems pretty massive. It must be on the edge of the foot. Like this box must have come out like a little bit because of the way their leg was placed. Pretty crazy hitbox really when you think about it. But he seems to be getting hit markers here. Following, tracking, weird bloom where the bullets sort of go back onto the head, even though he's shooting away from the head. Again, hitting the hitboxes, not the actual player model. Again, hitting the hitboxes, not the player model. This was the first thing that I noticed in the replay that made me think that this guy's probably cheating. Is the sort of snap to the Groot there through the wall. You might think he's shooting this spider nest, but I do believe that he's shooting the Groot behind the wall. The evidence later on that I'll show you will pretty much confirm that that is the case, that he's not shooting the nest, he's going for the Groot here. Let me just go back and show that again. Right there. And one more time just in slow-mo. And see if we can go frame by frame. As the aim begins to go across the way here, it goes straight to the Groot there. I think he moves a little bit more to the left, and it looks like he goes to the nest, but he stops there for briefly on the Groot there through the wall for at least a frame or two before moving off to the part where he shoots, and then he hits the spider nest, but I'd argue it's probably locking to the hand or something like that of the Groot through the wall. It's gone all pixelated now, I'm afraid, sorry. But you pretty much get the idea anyway. I don't want to spend too much time on this. And then seemingly hitting the hitboxes again rather than the actual player models on the Groot, and the same for the Punisher. I believe he snaps straight to the Punisher there. Quite crazy. I think he jumps in and it's literally fully tracking hitboxes. There we go. Hitboxes never actually on the player model itself, just straight on the hitbox. We'll just watch that bit one more time. So he goes like bang, snap straight to the Punisher, like bang, instantaneous. This is in slow motion as well. And then he's like hitting all of the hitboxes there. Not the player model, not even attempting to even correct his aim. Not even attempting to correct his aim. He's really close. Not like he's really far away. He's super close so you can see the model. But there is no attempt, no human component going, oh, I better aim more accurate to the model. There's no attempt to even really correct their aim in any way. They're just locked to a fixed point, more or less, within a few degrees or whatever of the hitbox, and it's pretty much staying completely locked to it. Let's watch that whole engagement there in real time. Okay, and then we'll move on to the next bit of really incriminating evidence for the StarLord, and I think this pretty much conclusively tells you that this guy is probably cheating. Okay, I believe this is the section here that is the most incriminating for this StarLord player here. Okay, it's this shot against the invisible woman here. They take a shot of this invisible woman behind this structure. Now, Punisher put a smoke cloud down. The invisible woman was actually invisible. The smoke cloud goes down. I think they get hit by somebody else. The invisible woman becomes invisible, becomes visible, and they're behind the smoke cloud, so they can't be seen by the StarLord. They move to this structure. They then have the Penny Parkers standing in front of their face, and they fire a couple of shots over directly at the invisible woman behind this structure here. So we'll carry on watching. I think I slow it down here.
Oh, sweet move. Right?
Okay, so here we go. Slow down. You see they don't see the person, and then they take a few shots there through the Penny Parker to the structure on the other side. Now I think I decoupled the camera here so you can see where these bullets are actually going, and you can see they're kind of lined up more or less directly where their head would be. It's going on a downward trajectory pretty much to where their head would be. So you can see the invisible woman becomes visible here, but they're pretty much being blocked by the smoke cloud here. So I'm pretty much checking the sight lines here in the camera just to see, you know, can the StarLord see this invisible woman in any way? Because I know they're clearly behind a wall here, so they're not seeing the invisible woman at this point. Even though they are visible and no longer invisible, they're not seeing this at all. So we move it along a little bit further, and like we're looking on this angle here, and you might think, oh, maybe the StarLord can see, but as you move forward, the way the gases, the smoke is actually covered or positioned, it doesn't actually allow the StarLord to actually see this invisible woman at all through the smoke cloud. And it's more just an illusion of perception based on the angle and how the smoke interacts as you move forwards and backwards in the replay. But when you actually move forward, you can't actually see through that smoke at all. And you can see this shot here is more or less lined up to their hand. It's pretty much locked to their hand or their arm as it's stretched out here. This is the first shots that come out for the StarLord. They're going down on a downward trajectory, pretty much perfectly in line with their hand as it's stretched out. And then the next shots come along and they're pretty much on a downward trajectory, pretty much exactly where their head is. So they're firing down. So if those bullets would carry on its downward trajectory, I'm pretty sure the downward trajectory of these bullets would go pretty much directly to where their head is. And I think this is pretty concrete that this person's using wall hacks and an aimbot to cheat in Marvel Rivals. And this is a ranked game. This is a competitive game. This is not against bots in quick play. And as you can see here, more just sort of snapping, shooting hitboxes there, shooting hitboxes again, and you sort of get the picture. I think they might even be looking at people through the wall here. They seem to be looking out that way, and they seem to be going around here for some reason, seemingly looking at people through the wall, going in around the back of them because they know where they are, and going for an ulti here and taking everybody out. But you generally get the idea. I believe that the shots on the invisible woman is pretty damning evidence that this guy's using wall hacks and an aimbot. Now we're going to go to Danny1337, who is the Magik player. Unfortunately, there's no audio for this clip. I must have recorded it. I left it recording the replay, didn't check it afterwards, and there's just no audio. So we're just going to have to go through with no audio of the most incriminating parts of this Magik player. Here we are with the Magik straight away, and from the beginning of the replay where I have it, they're positioned here, seemingly on an eye level tangent directly to where the enemy team is. Apparently, seemingly, like, are they wall hacking? It could just be coincidental, but it does seem like they're just on this line looking directly at the players. Who knows? Just pointing that out. As you can see, they sort of moved around. They seem to move, look towards the enemy team, slash around a little bit, then move to this point and then just stop on the exact line of the enemy team there through the wall. Maybe it's something, maybe it's not, could be coincidental. Well, I'm just going to point it out anyway. So we have this section here where they take this shot at me is a little bit suspicious. You might say that they saw me go over here and they were just trying to find me and get me with the attack. I mean, there's another player there. They seem pretty set on trying to get me. I could have carried on moving left. They don't know that, right? But they seem to be sure that I'm around there and attempt to hit me with their right attack, their right click move. Here we go, charging it up and then straight at me, essentially through a wall as well. But maybe that's just a little bit slim and not convincing enough, but you'll see that the evidence becomes a bit more convincing, such as like right now. Why are they so convinced to look at this wall in which they can't actually see anybody, but potentially looking at this person here through the wall and this person here? We've got a team over there, but they don't seem to be focused on that. And it just seems, even if you don't have wall hacks, why would you be looking at a wall like this? I don't really understand. Let's pull it back a little bit. So again, you can see they're looking directly over this way. Like they're looking through the wall. They charge up this attack on me, tend to go through the wall. They turn back left and then they turn right again. They're basically looking at this wall over here. They turn into the left, looking more at this wall again, probably at this person here, looking to get the, I think the invisible woman. I think around here, possibly even me. I'm not sure who it was that they're looking at. No, it's this invisible woman. So that she definitely seems to be targeting supports. She's got it in her mind that she wants to target support players and is kind of ignoring other people. This might be an important detail to recognize now because it makes sense of things later. So they essentially went to go and attack me. They ignored the Winter Soldier, bearing in mind that they do ignore the Winter Soldier. I'm going to quickly play it again just so that you see that. Okay, so the Winter Soldier's there in front, right? They've seen the Winter Soldier and me go that way. The Winter Soldier comes running back out this way. They do see the Winter Soldier, but they still, without a moment's reaction, go straight to me. Like, and if we go back just a little bit more here, a tiny bit more, and just like, let's just go frame by frame here. So they're jumping up in the air, charging up this attack. I don't think they can even see my health bar at this point. I don't think it's not even my health bar at this point. It'll be the Winter Soldier. I don't think they can see that health bar. Well, they might see it. If that's their head, they might be seeing it. So they're already charged up. They're about to throw this out. It's getting super charged up, so they're getting ready to throw this out at any time. They haven't seen me yet. They've got a Doctor Strange basically in front of their camera here, and they're essentially blocking a part of the corner as well. You can't see me yet. They've seen potentially briefly the Winter Soldier, but that's about all they've seen. They're charging up. They're going for an attack. They may or may not have seen the Winter Soldier or see them at this point. I don't know, but they're already throwing this attack out. They're already throwing it out there. And they probably see the Winter Soldier now, but it's probably too late to swap targets to whatever target they're already on that they cannot see. They jump up and they're already fully swinging this attack across and heading straight towards me. So they've got a primary focus on the supports and they are ignoring the Winter Soldier. And I don't know how they have time to react to the fact that I'm there and perfectly get this shot when they did not know I was there. And I don't think the shot actually hits because it actually collides with the wall and not with me, so they don't get a hit there. And they stop and turn here, looking at the wall again for some reason. They don't seem to be interested at looking this way or just focusing on this way where they're blocking their attacks for potentially them coming around. They seem to be very fixated on looking through the wall here. Still looking through the wall. Let's just pull that back because it pixelated. Let's just play that bit again. So they turn this way, turn back towards the wall, seemingly looking through the wall. On the left, looking through the wall, walking round whilst looking through the wall. They can see the Winter Soldier here, yet they still continue to carry on looking through the wall here. Again, looking through the wall, and then they come out and they attack the Winter Soldier. I think they switch targets to me. No, they are not. They are on the Winter Soldier. They don't change. They teleport away. They run around. Again, they look to the left because it seems like they might be going to the left through the wall, so they look left. And then they go to the right, thinking maybe they'll go right. They look again through the wall here. See, oh, wait a minute, they might be going left. No, wait, they're going right. And then they see the Winter Soldier there and they attack Winter Soldier. Now, some people might think, well, if they had wall hacks, why didn't they notice and react the Winter Soldier as he came around the corner? Well, if we go back and look again, when they come around this corner here and they seem to be very fixated with the group over here, they go around again, looking at where the players are. They can't see these players. I think this is the Winter Soldier here. I believe they start looking at the Rocket Raccoon. Again, they seem to have their attentions set on the supports and not so much the damage dealers. So they seem to be really focused on the Raccoon here. They don't notice the Winter Soldier walk around, and then they react to the Winter Soldier and go for him. And people might say, well, they didn't see the Winter Soldier coming around the corner, therefore they can't have wall hack. I'd actually argue that logically this actually suggests that they do have wall hacks, that they're so focused on looking at the supports through the wall that they're not even paying attention to the Winter Soldier that's walking around the corner. They're so fixated on what they can't see, right, that they literally don't see the Winter Soldier walk around because they're so focusing on the supports, which there's previous evidence of them doing so. So this would also suggest the same thing is happening here, and it adds evidence or strength to this argument. Because if you didn't have wall hacks, why wouldn't you be reacting to this Winter Soldier going around this corner? You'd be waiting for anyone to come around the corner and attack them. They allow a good bit of reaction time to just allow this Winter Soldier to walk around before reacting to it, as if their attention is fixated on something else, but they're looking at a wall. So what could they be fixated on? Logic must dictate they must be seeing somebody through the wall, and they're more interested in another player rather than this Winter Soldier. And since we have evidence of them focusing on supports, it would seem that they're looking at the supports through the wall and trying to focus the supports, and therefore ignoring this Winter Soldier momentarily before reacting to the Winter Soldier when they realize that they're right on top of them. It makes sense, right? It makes perfect sense. Okay, now this is the part here that where they actually kill me, and I thought that this person might be cheating. So we're basically pushing around here on the left. It's uncertain how much of this they'll see when they're blinded, but essentially I throw out my blind, I then walk forward, and then I ulti, and they kill me on the opening frame of my ulti and basically cancel my ult. And very suspicious. So fully blinded, they kill me right there. So let's just play this again, watch it again in real time with no pause or interruption. Okay, let's just go again in slow motion. And I'll comment over as we play through it. So seemingly again looking through the wall, focusing on the Rocket Raccoon, then seeing the Winter Soldier, reacting to the Winter Soldier, going on the Winter Soldier, basically firing a shot off. Did they hit him? No. So they're seemingly looking through the wall there at the people who are pushing up on the left hand side. Let's just go back and just watch that little bit again, sorry. So yeah, coming around here, focusing on people through the wall, seemingly looking at the Rocket Raccoon, seeing the soldier, going on the Winter Soldier, coming around here, and then ignoring him, looking at through the wall again, seeing that they're pushing around the left hand side through the wall. They move to the left. I put my blind out, they're blinded. pause, and you can see that this is a move that you have to aim. You have to aim it. It doesn't have auto aim. It doesn't have any kind of like Scarlet Witch effect, AoE effect, or anything of the sort. You pretty much have to aim this. Now, there is a sort of a line hitbox, like it's not like exactly a circle. It is like a line, so it does have a bigger hitbox than a standard projectile weapon, but you kind of have to be where the crosshair is to land it on somebody, and they're sort of turning and hitting me, and their cursor hasn't moved to me. I don't know why that is, if it's a spectate bug, if it's because they're snapping so fast that the interpolation in the replay can't catch up. Do the devs know they're cheating, and this is a way that they try and hide people cheating in the replays? Because you can't really trust the replays aren't also potentially hiding cheaters. I mean, that's a pretty tinfoil hat idea that will probably become maybe a bit more prevalent in the future, as we have seen things in Call of Duty in recent years, or in the recent months really, of kill cams that don't add up or make any sense, where it looks like they're faking kill cams to hide people that are cheating, or to hide engagement optimized matchmaking, rigging your games and stuff like that. So there's already a semi precedent of kill cams being faked. Potentially replays could be faked to hide cheaters, potentially, in order to make people think that cheating isn't that bad. But here we have a dude that's basically hitting me with a move. Their crosshair isn't on me, but they're seemingly finding me even though they're blinded. If we go back and watch just one more time, try and go frame by frame a little bit. So seeing through the wall, going on the Rocket Raccoon, onto the Winter Soldier, dashing round, missing, looking through the wall, seeing people push up on the left, charging up an attack to the people on the left that they know they're on the left because they're steaming through the wall. They jump up into the air. My blind comes out as they do it. They get blinded. Their Penny Parker's basically blocking their field of view in their face. There's an invisible woman stasis field out there that's adding more distortion to what they can see. So there's an invisible woman distortion field, stasis field or whatever, and then my blind, the Penny Parker blocking their view as well. But they seem to have no problem of this attack just finding me on my opening frame of my ult, even though their crosshair is nowhere on me. They're not aiming on me, and this is a move you have to aim. It almost seems like their cheat knew, like a script, knew I was ulting and immediately prioritized their attack to hit me because I was about to ulti, and therefore cancelled my ulti. And this is the moment that I started tilting, because I'm pretty sure this person was cheating, because the reactions are insane. There's so much noise, so much obfuscation. I don't know how they could tell I was there, what I was doing, and how they could react to it without cheating, because this is pretty insane reaction speeds with literally no information other than the information where I was, but that's not where their attack hit me. They're not aiming at the last logical place where people were. They're actually changing targets as I moved forward. So they couldn't have known that I was going to do that. Really, realistically, logically, you think if you've been blinded and you got all this shit in your face and you got your attack, you probably throw it to the last known position where players were, not immediately snap within a single frame to a person who's literally on the opening frame of their ultimate and cancel their ultimate. It's very suspicious, and I think with the previous evidence of them wall hacking, seemingly wall hacking, I'm going to say that this is an aimbot, and it's somehow prioritizing me throughout this noise because I'm ulting, and it's like their cheat knows that and is putting me down so I can't use my ultimate. And they seem to be dilly-dallying around here. Again, looking straight at the wall there, seemingly locked on a perfect like tangent, like parallel line, not parallel line, but a tangent line straight to where the players are. They're looking again like directly on the line. At least in the previous little section they were. They run around here. They turn back around and seem to stop, and then like bang, it's like they're like directly on the same line as the enemy team, more or less. You could say that this is coincidental, could be, but they seem to be looking at walls directly that way a lot of the time when you can't see anything. There's a wall there, isn't it? So again, like they're walking forward almost like they're locked in a line to where the enemy team is. Again, like looking back on a line to where the enemy team is. moving more to the right because somebody moved right and just standing there looking. They might actually be replying to me saying that they're a cheater. And then they walk forward again, seemingly looking like they're looking at people through the wall, trying to determine which way they're going. And as they move left, they turn left. They might have been reacting to the group wall and whatnot, but it seems like they could see them move left and they look left, so they've gone left. Again, they moved right, so they're on the right hand side, and then they flick the Groot up there in the air. Let's just go back and watch that a little bit again. So you can see that they're moving towards the right hand side. They start moving to the right hand side, and then they see the Groot there and go for the Groot. And I think that's pretty much the most incriminating part of this player here. I don't think there's much more other than just looking through the wall, which we've seen already, like again here, looking like they're looking through walls. So here's my losing streak. This is the game with them in it. And you can see that Grand L here was gold 3 at the time, playing against me. And Danny was silver 2. So there's all silver 2s, silver 1, silver 3s on my team, and seemingly a gold 3 and a bronze 1. Potentially these two are together. Drowning Rat did immediately come to the defense of Grand L and Danny 1337 when they were accused, so this person might be cheating as well, but it's hard to say for certain because I didn't check the replay. But if we go to here, we'll go to Grand L. Let's check their profile here, and you can see since last week, January 14th, they are now Diamond 3. So they've basically been winning quite a large portion of their games, as we can see here. Let's go to click to competitive only, so we can see their win rate here is very good. They've got a bit of a losing streak there, but nothing compared to mine. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 less than me. But you can see they go on pretty big win streaks as well. Right. You can see a lot of MVPs, MVP. This is ranked. This is in gold. How many times are you going to get MVP? Like, look how many MVPs this guy gets. Like, it's back in bronze. His win rates. MVP, MVP. Right? This guy is clearly still got an amazing win streak even in Diamond, and there seems to be no stopping this guy. Like, I'm pretty much convinced this guy is cheating. He is a cheater, absolute cheater. Can we see some of his hero stats here? StarLord, win rate 58%, 75% on Moon Knight. He's got more matches with Moon Knight, with a massive win rate with more games played. KD's generally decent. Damage is, whatever. But we can see here that his win rates seem to be pretty good. Right, let's go back and check the other guy. Danny 1337, who's silver 2. Let's have a look at this guy. He is now gold 3. So, sorry, gold 1 in season 0, and season best is gold 2. So that's this season. It's actually been demoted. So this person doesn't look quite as blatant as obvious. Maybe just not that good, even with cheats. But this person would seem less likely to be a cheater. Not as many MVPs, not as many SVPs. Like the StarLord, very blatantly seems to be a cheater, but he's got quite a lot of wins here. Doesn't seem to get SVP or MVP that regularly. They don't seem super amazing, but there was evidence of them seemingly at least having wall hacks and looking through walls. Hard to tell if they're cheating based off of their stats at all, but the StarLord looks very suspicious to be a cheater with the fact that they've climbed so fast. Okay, and so I reported both of these players, and I held off this video. Okay, So I held off this video. I was going to do it last week. I do have a bunch of other videos from Marvel Rivals that I was going to do and haven't done. I sort of postponed it, and I sort of wanted to wait because I reported these guys, as I report many cheaters, but I thought these ones were quite obviously cheating. At least the StarLord was very obviously cheating, and I put reports in for both of these players, and quite detailed reports, as much as I could fit in with the amount of text that they allow, where I gave timestamps and descriptions of what was happening. So they had the information that was some of what you've seen in this video, but very, shorthand. At this timestamp, they're clearly shooting at the invisible wall behind the structure. You can see the bullets go toward their head, so on and so forth. They can't see them, yada yada yada. Like, as much as information as I could fit in a condensed space, and sort of waited to see if they would get banned or not. Now, I'm fairly convinced that their systems that they use for reporting is 100% automated. I don't think there's a human being actually looking at any of these reports. Now, what makes me think this is because if somebody leaves a queue, deserts, like either in a quick play or in a ranked game, they will automatically be penalized with a timer before they can play the game again, before they can play that mode. There's a separate ban for each queue, for quick play and for ranked. So if you leave, you'll get a penalty, like 3-hour matchmaking. If you leave again, it will increase, and so far. This is done automatically. Now, if somebody leaves in your game, you're going to report them, and you're going to get an automatic report back saying they've been suspended from matchmaking, blah blah blah, because they have. But it's an automated process. They didn't look and go, oh, this guy left his game or leaves games on a regular basis, ban him. No, it's done automatically upon desertion, and if you keep doing it, the timer goes up, and then if you report that person for doing it, you just get a message back saying, hey, we've banned this guy from matchmaking. So you get to feel like they're doing something about it, but it's really an automated process. The other thing is, if people are being toxic and abusive, I think it's based on how many reports you receive. If they receive a certain amount of reports for being toxic, they get banned from chat. They get chat muted. Now, I was recently chat muted, literally the other day, and the only things that I've really been saying is calling people who seem to be cheating, calling them out to be cheaters. So, I don't think a legitimate player would report somebody for being called a cheater if they were legit. Now, if you were a cheater, you're probably going to be a little bit annoyed that somebody's exposing you for cheating and breaking your delusion. Like, I think cheaters are very protective of the delusion that they're really good at games, quite vehemently. And if you try to take their fantasy away from them, they act very spitefully against you, and they will report you en masse. If you call them a cheater, they will say they take it as a compliment and say thanks and say all these things, but they know they're cheating. They know you know they're cheating. They don't like you, that you're basically destroying their fantasy, and they will report you out of spite. So I believe I was chat muted because many cheaters have reported me for calling him a cheater, saying that I'm toxic or whatnot, and I was reported for the reason given was inappropriate speech. I tried to appeal this ban, and I never received any kind of information or anything to my account about the appeal to this ban. It wasn't uplifted. I was given a 24-hour chat ban, and it was never uplifted. I had the full 24 hours given. Probably didn't even check it within that 24 hours, if anybody even checked it at all. So I'm pretty sure it's a bullshit reason. I don't know what inappropriate speech is. I tried to ask within my appeal, what is inappropriate speech? All I've done is call people that look like they're cheating, saying they're cheating or potentially cheating, etc., and describing how I think they're cheating. And apparently that's inappropriate. I'll think if somebody's cheating in your game and you're calling it out, I feel like that's very appropriate for the context of what's happening within the match. So it seems I was chat muted for a bullshit reason. I don't know if they've done it themselves to protect cheaters, to allow cheaters to use their report the same way that Steam support bans me on a regular basis for exposing cheaters or arguing with suspected cheaters and implying that they might be cheaters and being banned because they report me and so forth. So I don't know if it's like Steam support, where they seem to be being used as a weapon by the cheaters to enact their will against other people unfairly and unjustly by abusing the guidelines and the terms and conditions to their advantage to turn it upon the people that would try to expose them. Or if there's actually a conspiracy within Steam support that they do actively protect cheaters and try to get people banned, which is seemingly what they did with my Marvel Rivals ban when they couldn't ban me for exposing a cheater who exposed himself, and they looked for another reason to ban me instead. I discussed this on my previous stream. If you probably go and check that for my last Marvel Rivals stream, if you want to see that, but I even edit that part out so you can see. So I believe that this whole system is automated, and they're not really doing anything about cheaters at all. Now, if you're a Shroud or you're a streamer, they might put a cheater in your game or be aware that there's potentially cheating. They might even put a bot in their game that cheats, so that when that high profile streamer reports them, they can show their audience that they get a 100-year ban, so that people can believe the fantasy that the devs actually ban cheaters and actually do something about it, so that they'll play the game. What people need to understand, and I've said this many times in many videos, it's the George Carlin quote: you don't need a formal conspiracy when interests converge. Now, the corporation, the company's interest is profit. They can make money off of cheaters and they can make money off of legit players. So if they want to take money from both sides, they have to allow cheaters to cheat, which means they have to be in bed with the cheaters to conspire with the cheaters to keep the legit players unaware of how bad cheating is, so that the legit players will keep spending their money and the cheaters will also keep spending their money. Essentially, they are in a informal conspiracy with cheaters to essentially exploit legitimate players into believing it's a fair playing field, so that the company can make the most amount of money from both sides. The cheaters are okay with that because it allows them to cheat. The company's okay with that because it allows them to make money from both sides. The only people that aren't okay with it are the legit players who have to be oppressed by this force, and they have to be constantly gaslit by the cheaters, which will be allowed by Steam support and all the forums and all that kind of thing, in order to make it seem like you're just crazy, you're just mad, it's not people cheating, it's just you bad at the game, and just enforce this perspective because they want you to feel you're bad at the game. If you take the lie, then you'll happily keep playing as thinking you're bad and making the most amount of money out of both sides as possible. And that is probably the reality of what is happening. These companies don't really have any real reason to stop cheaters because they want to make all the money. Though these cheaters, they have massive egos and they can't take abuse. They can't take it. That's why they cheat. They can't even take losing fairly in a video game. They can't take it. That's why they cheat. That it causes them like narcissistic damage to lose a fair fight. They can't handle it. They're not able to handle it. So they know that if they punish the cheaters and make it so that they can't cheat, they will leave and they will not spend money on the game because their ego will be unable to take it. They have to be able to cheat in order to spend money on the game. I think the companies know that, and that's why they do that. Now, I just got one little bonus thing that I'm going to add onto the end of this video here, and then that'll be it for this episode. So I'm going to zoom in on this video here. I found this video the other day and I basically want to add it on. I'm going to zoom in so you can't see the name of the video or the name of the YouTube channel. I don't want to promote it because he's showing cheats and how to use cheats and whatnot. I just want to point out a few things. I have a ongoing theory that cheaters use codes in order to identify each other. One of the common ones that has cropped up in recent months is the usage of cat avatars on people's profiles, or the usage of cat skins in games like Fortnite. There seems to be a trend, a constant pattern of cheaters and suspicious players identifying with cats in one way or another. I believe that this is a cheater code to imply that I'm a beast, I'm a predator, I'm something like an animal hunting its prey type thing, and people wouldn't suspect the cuteness or nature of a cat because it's domesticated. You don't understand that a cat actually is a predator. It is a predator, and you just probably wouldn't automatically think of it as a predator like a lion or a tiger or something more ferocious, right? But a cat is a predator, and this is like a very good symbol or icon or imagery to convey that you're a cheater without people realizing that's what you mean. Now, this person is a cheater, and they're selling cheats, and they're using cat avatars in the opening of all of their videos, and this would essentially give more evidence to the amount of videos and streams where I show people with their profiles having cat avatars and using cat skins in Fortnite. So this is just showing more of that. It's going to show a little bit of the intro, then we're going to see these cheats in Marvel Rivals in action.
Guys, without too much water, I show you how to install the cheat. The first thing to do is to turn off anti.
And of course they use the anime quite often. Let me just skip through here. And again, they use another cat avatar here.
The cheat, if any.
So they use another little cat avatar there during their video. Now let's have a little look at some of the cheats here. I wanted to use this one because it uses quite smooth aim assist that you wouldn't tell that it was an aimbot just off of what you see. It moves so calmly to one target to another that you wouldn't really suspect that it's a cheat, but it is a cheat. Unfortunately, this guy uploads these videos in awful quality, so it's hard to see, but you will sort of get the idea of how this aimbot operates and looks, so that maybe you can use this in your own games to determine if people are cheating or not, because this is quite good to see how a more sly cheater would use their aimbot than the standard rage hacking, snap to everything like a Terminator, which is like 1% of actual cheaters. Most people are trying to hide it when they're cheating, so it's a lot harder to detect. But let's have a little look at this. So you can see it moves very calmly from one target to another target, and just pretty much almost 100% accuracy, which would be arguably the giveaway, is how consistent they are at hitting their targets. But just based off of their movements alone, you'd never tell that they're snapping and locking to players because it's so smooth and so almost natural like looking. Now if you look carefully, every now and again a shot does get missed here or there, but that's almost never happens. So you could turn this down to make your attacks seemingly miss more, so it wouldn't look quite as obvious, because the giveaway here would be how calm and how smooth and how their accuracy is so good, and there's no like human anticipation or anxiousness or flickiness of somebody desperate to land an attack on somebody. It's very calm from one target to the next target, and you can't really tell that there's a human being who's, you know, sweating behind his keyboard, for example. This person looks like they're not even trying. It's so easy. They land every shot. It's from one target to the next target very smoothly. And I think that's the giveaway. That's how you spot a modern day cheater, is how easy do they make their shots look, or is there any real look like they're sweating or they're anxious or they're over aiming or they're doing anything that might indicate there's a human at the helm. I think this is how you have to look at it nowadays to determine if somebody's cheating or not. But if we do look here carefully at the end here, as he jumps up in the air, we've seen that this shot that they fire does in fact miss. So it does show that this aimbot does have a chance that it can miss, but it's mostly a near 100% accuracy. I'm pretty sure you can turn these settings down so that it would miss more often or wouldn't track quite as fast or as precise, in order to make it look a little bit more human. And that's pretty much how most people do their cheats these days. They don't do it to snap to people like a Terminator and just to murder people, because it's so blatant, it's obvious. Anyone can spot that that's a cheat. And now that you've got and because this game has an accuracy rating, it tells you how accurate your character is, you can just press tab, see how accurate your shots are. You think, oh, 70% accuracy, I better start shooting the wall or something in order to get, you know, shots off. Now I'm going to quickly find a video of another cheater in a different game. I think I have it clipped somewhere to quickly show you a Hawkeye. I think it happened on stream. I'll find it. And I'll just put it at the end, and then I'll end the video. But basically, of a Hawkeye seemingly deliberately missing his shots on purpose, and then snapping to me, and then just killing me. And that'll be it for this episode. I'm out of here. Enjoy that last little clip. I'm gone. Peace. Okay.
Only 60 seconds left.
What are they doing, mate?
You stopped them in their tracks.
This Hawkeye has again threaded the needle on me. I'm sidestepping constantly. Look at this.
You're too loud.
Okay. This Hawkeye's cheating, bro. I'm telling you, he's cheating. He's just firing to nothing, and then just decides, oh, I'll just one tap the. He's just firing to lower his accuracy down.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.